my name's Jordan O'Neill from Super Sprint Events and I'm joined by Brian Hinton from Triathlon Australia. We're here at Greenpoint, Brighton, giving you the Challenge Melbourne briefing video. Welcome to all our interstate and overseas competitors, especially those taking part in their first Challenge family event. Thank you also to our major sponsors, Terra Firma Business Consulting, Hammer Nutrition and Giant. We're here at Greenpoint, Brighton, the start and finish point for Challenge Melbourne, where on 1st of Feb we'll see this sold out field of 1,600 competitors set out on their 1.9 kilometre swim, 90 kilometre cycle and 21.1 kilometre run. Brian, you were here last year for the first event. What were your thoughts?
Last year we had the inaugural event and it was absolutely fabulous. The conditions were extremely challenging due to the heat. Everybody from the race organisers who instituted a lot of heat management policies and facilities to the officials and especially to the athletes, all were sensible about their performance on the day, and as a result we had many people going home happy and very gratefully nobody in hospital or adversely affected.
That's a great result. I guess lessons learnt from last year's event particularly about the preparation. So this year conditions at this stage are looking promising. However, you know, we'll need to confirm those closest to the event. Regardless, hydration is always a massive part of your preparation, and there's also some material that we've got through Hammer Nutrition available on their website, which you can click through and have a bit of a look and certainly get yourself prepared in regards to drinking and eating prior to the event. Brian and I have actually jumped out from behind the backdrop for this one, as we're down here at Greenpoint on the beach, the location of swim start for Challenge Melbourne. So race morning, we'll have about 1,600 people down here warming up and ready to go. The important thing to note, the elite males will be setting out at 6:15 a.m. This field includes last year's winner Tim Van Berkel, also competing against Matt Reed, Leon Griffin, Luke Bell, Clayton Fattel, Jeff Simmons. So a really hot male field there and also a few more going along. Elite females will start shortly after at 6:17 a.m. headed by last year's winner Annabelle Luxford, against a field that includes Rebecca Hosky, Rebecca Keat, and of course Melissa Hauschult. Now this field will be setting off from here and be well and truly in the water by the time the age groupers set out at 6:20. Age groupers will set out in approximately 5-minute waves, and then we'll have them head up just over to our right there for the swim exit and into transition. Now Brian, what are your thoughts going into the swim leg and the technical elements?
The technical team will be looking that firstly that you enter with the right swim cap, you enter that particular wave and not some other wave. And secondarily we'll be looking for unsportsmanlike behaviour out in the water, and by that I mean that there's no punching or ducking people under the water. When you come to a turn buoy, you give your competitors a reasonable amount of latitude that you exit the corner and then you proceed with your race. So we will have a presence out on the water, but good luck in the swim and go hard.
Thanks Brian. We'll see you next at transition and the cycle leg. So following the completion of the 1.9 kilometre swim, competitors will be heading through transition to go out on the 90 kilometre cycle course. Now transition will see all competitors exit the swim, head to the far end of the bike compound, make a U-turn in, and then exit down at the same point, approximately covering the same area, just for a fair transition. Now, Brian, what are the key points that the competitors need to make note during their transition and also, I guess, in their transition setup?
When you come to your racking position, it's most important that you don't shove any other athletes on the way to that position. You put your helmet on before you unrack your bike. You then proceed to the marked bike exit point, and then from there you go to the mount line. So in each of those cases, it's most important to bear in mind the other athletes in the field, but also to have the best and fastest transition you can have.
Brilliant. Just a note for teams. So teams, all transitions will be made at their bike rack of your team. So make sure you head to that bike rack approximately 10 minutes before you're expecting your previous team member to arrive. At that changeover, you'll just need to swap your timing band from left ankle to left ankle and then continue out in the team event. Thanks guys, that's the transition. Following a nice quick transition, we'll see our competitors head out on the 90-kilometre cycle course along Beach Road from Brighton to Mordialloc. The relatively flat course will see 3 laps performed of our 30-kilometre lap. Now, there will be 1 aid station available per lap, and this aid station will have bike maintenance available from CBD Cycles, as well as water and electrolytes provided by Hammer Nutrition, Vaseline, and also toilets available also. It's important to note also that there's a designated litter area there also, and that is where you must do any of the disposal of your rubbish, as if you dispose improperly on the course and litter, that's grounds for disqualification, and Brian and his team will be looking for that. Now, the 3-lap cycle course, I might touch on the cut-off times after a few points just on the technical elements there, Brian, particularly I guess drafting, and then some other points that your team will be looking for.
I'll quickly go over the rules. This is a non-drafting race, and the drafting zone is 3 metres wide by 12 metres long. So that is a big length of draft zone. Imagine a car and a half, a big Commodore and maybe a small Mini, something of that nature. So what we'll be looking for is people who are well inside that draft zone, and more importantly, people who stay there. Now, the rules for passing are you have 20 seconds to pass, complete a pass, and completing a pass is defined by if your front wheel gets in front of the athlete you are passing, that athlete must drop back before they even attempt to pass again. Otherwise, we will be forming a peloton. So it is absolutely critical when you're passed, you've got to drop back and then assess your situation, whether you're strong enough to repass. If not, let that athlete go and then resume your race. Now, if you are shown a yellow card for drafting, or indeed for blocking, which we'll explain in a sec, you will pay a 4-minute penalty. And for this race, we're going to have 2 penalty boxes. One is just after the turnaround at the Mordialloc area. There's a reasonably large car park which will be well signposted with a big penalty box sign. And the second one will be up closer towards the turnaround for lap 2 and lap 3 in another big car park with a big sign near the South Road turnaround. Now, blocking is where you stay out in the right-hand zone and you don't immediately resume to the left-hand side once you've completed a pass. What this causes is other athletes to be tempted to come up on the inside of you, and if they pass on the inside, that is an illegal pass. So there, the summary is there's 3 offences, the penalty is 4 minutes, and we will have our best team out there working very hard. If you are in that draft zone and there are 10 or 12 of you and you get a yellow card, don't say I'm unlucky, why was it me? You were in the draft zone, you should have done something about it, you should have attempted to do something about it, and if you don't, you are liable for a yellow card.
So there are some of the key points to take note while on your cycle. These ensure fair racing, but also just safety as well on the roads. So they're, as much as they are, you know, they seem pretty strict, in the end, if you do the common sense things and, you know, compete genuinely, you'll stay out of trouble, no problems. So far as cut-off times on the bike course, the key note is you must have started or done your turnaround at Brighton heading into your 3rd lap by 10 AM. This will hopefully see you at the southern turnaround at Mordialloc by 10:30 AM and then completing by 11. Now, if you're still on course at 11 AM, we'll have a moto marshal to escort you back, but this will be under regular road rules, sorry. So stopping at red lights and certainly staying on the left, as the roads will then be open to traffic. But take note and certainly just do the common sense things on the cycle leg, and we'll have a great day, guys. Following the completion of the 90-kilometre cycle course, competitors will head on the left of the road through the dismount line into the transition area, then make their way out onto the 3-lap run course. The run course will see the opportunity for 5 hydration points at each lap, combining for 15 in total. Because we all know after the swim and the run, needing a lot of fuels just to complete that run leg. So following the path, as you can see in our background, there'll be some minor points to take note in the run, with the bib being one of the more important ones, just making sure you've got your race belt and bib on, and that's facing to the front. Brian, what would you like the competitors to note heading into the run?
As you're coming in off the bike, racking your bike, please choose to rack it either brake hoods or seat, and rack it securely. If you dislodge another competitor's bike, that could be an infringement, which would incur a 15-second penalty. So again, you've got to be aware of the other competitors. It's not entirely about you at a couple of those key points of the race. As you're coming out of the transition, again, not too much pushing and shoving. Get out on the run course and do your best.
Well, I reckon we'll have a great run leg. Brian, just off air, was just saying the course is really set up for the competitor, but also, you know, we're very lucky here just to have a course that you can spectate from a lot of positions. So just make sure you can you're ready to see your friend, family member come off the bike and head out on the run. Now, we've covered a fair few points there, Brian. Hopefully it's not too lengthy for the competitors. Just take note of the major points of the swim, the cycle and the run. So far as spectators, because obviously you've got some family and friends that really want to see you down here on the 1st of Feb. So the key times for them will be that swimmers will be on course from 6:20 to 7:30 a.m. So cyclists will be on course between 6:35 and 11 a.m. and runners will be on course between 8:40 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. with the first elite male expected to finish just after 10 a.m. and the elite female to follow shortly after. So one part that I'll make special mention on is the Challenge Family finish shoot. So this is a pretty special feature of Challenge events, and particularly a good one for the kids. So in the last 20 metres of the finish shoot, the kids, the family, the friends, you can join the competitor finishing their run and cross the finish line with them, grabbing a photo and just sharing that moment with them. So that's a really good one to note. Otherwise, I'd suggest just grabbing a position in our grandstand and checking out the big screen, because that'll have all the live action for all those that are coming down. Now, Brian, there's been a few points in there, but I guess what are your two biggest ones just to take note of heading into the event?
The biggest one by far is out on the bike. There are a lot of people that will become a bit congested in lap 2 and lap 3. Be aware of your situation, be aware of if you are in the drafting zone, do something about it, and then you're not in any sort of trouble. If you don't do anything about it, you're fair game.
Brilliant. Once you cross that finish line, we'll make sure, because you have worked so hard, we'll have a range of refreshments and foods available for you in the recovery area. And the recovery area, of course, will be awaiting you your Challenge Family Stein and Frothy. So we look forward to seeing you there. It's going to be a great day for all. Conditions are looking good at this stage. Thanks, and see you soon.